ACIT, Life in the UK Test presents Weekly Mock Test, Week 2, December 2025. If you want to get fully prepared, download our app ACIT Life in the UK Test. Just scan the QR code on the screen or tap the link in the description box. With over 4,000 questions and unlimited mock tests, it's everything you need to pass with confidence. Alright now, let the mock test begin. Question 1. What is meant by individual liberty? The obligation to follow the crowd. The right to make your own choices. The requirement to obey the government. Or the freedom to disregard the law. The correct answer is the right to make your own choices. Did you know? Individual liberty means that residents of the UK have the right to make their own choices and live their lives as they see fit, within the boundaries of the law. Question 2. Which area is not part of the United Kingdom? Scotland, the Channel Islands, Northern Ireland, or Wales? The correct answer is the Channel Islands. Did you know? The Channel Islands are Crown dependencies, closely linked to the UK but maintaining their own governments. Question 3. In which month is Bonfire Night celebrated? November? December? January? Or October? The correct answer is November. Did you know? Bonfire Night, celebrated on November 5th, commemorates the failure of Guy Fawkes' plot to blow up the Houses of Parliament in 1605. Question 4. Which of the following are true regarding the reign of James I? He initiated settlements in Ulster. He commissioned a new translation of the Bible. He successfully avoided conflict with Parliament. He was a devout Catholic. Or he was previously James VI of Scotland. The correct answers are, he initiated settlements in Ulster, he commissioned a new translation of the Bible, and he was previously James VI of Scotland. Did you know? James I, previously James VI of Scotland, united the crowns of England and Scotland. His reign saw the commissioning of the King James Bible, and the beginning of settlements in Ulster, Ireland. However, his belief in the divine right of kings led to conflicts with Parliament. Question 5. Which of the following territories is connected to the UK but maintains its own government? England, Scotland, Northern Ireland, or the Channel Islands? The correct answer is the Channel Islands. Did you know? The Channel Islands and the Isle of Man are closely linked with the UK but are not part of it, having their own governments and being called Crown dependencies. Question 6. Which festival involves Hindus and Sikhs celebrating the victory of good over evil? Diwali, Hanukkah, Eid al-Adha, or Vaisakhi? The correct answer is Diwali. Did you know? Diwali, known as the Festival of Lights, is celebrated by Hindus and Sikhs to symbolize the triumph of good over evil and the gaining of knowledge. Question 7. The UK joined NATO to resist the perceived threat of invasion by the Soviet Union and its allies. False or true? The correct answer is true. Did you know? The UK joined the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, as a means to collectively resist the potential threat posed by the Soviet Union and its allied nations. Question 8. Which of the following factors contributed to the economic problems experienced in the UK during the 1970s? Unstable exchange rate between the pound and other currencies. Balance of payments issues. Lack of strikes. Rising prices of goods and raw materials. Stable exchange rates. Or strong trade union relations with the government. The correct answers are unstable exchange rate between the pound and other currencies, balance of payments issues, and rising prices of goods and raw materials. Did you know? The economic problems in the UK during the 1970s were caused by rising prices, unstable exchange rates, balance of payments issues, and conflicts between trade unions and the government. Question 9. Where does the Parliament responsible for governing the UK convene? Westminster, Cardiff, Edinburgh, or Belfast? The correct answer is Westminster. Did you know? The UK Parliament, which holds the authority to govern the United Kingdom, is based in Westminster, London. Question 10. Which areas have their own parliaments or assemblies with devolved powers? England, Scotland, Wales, Channel Islands, Isle of Man, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, or St. Helena, Falkland Islands? The correct answer is Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland. Did you know? Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland each possess their own distinct parliaments or assemblies, which have been granted specific devolved powers to manage regional affairs. Question 11. Which of the following territories have devolved powers in defined areas? Channel Islands, Isle of Man, Wales, Northern Ireland, or Scotland? The correct answers are Wales, Northern Ireland, and Scotland. Did you know? Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland each have their own parliaments or assemblies with devolved powers, meaning they have been granted authority to legislate on certain matters. Question 12. Which monarch established the Church of England? Mary I, Henry VIII, Elizabeth I, or Edward VI? The correct answer is Henry VIII. Did you know? Henry VIII established the Church of England to gain the power to divorce and remarry, which the Pope would not allow. This act placed the King, not the Pope, as the head of the Church in England. Question 13. Which of the following were contributing factors to the start of the First World War? Widespread economic prosperity, increasing militarism, imperialism, or a growing sense of nationalism? The correct answers are increasing militarism, imperialism, and a growing sense of nationalism. Did you know? Several factors contributed to the outbreak of the First World War, including growing nationalism, increasing militarism, imperialism, and the division of major European powers into opposing alliances. Question 14. What is the name given to the elected members of the Northern Ireland Assembly? MEPs, members of the European Parliament; MLAs, members of the Legislative Assembly; SMS, Senedd members; or MSPs, members of the Scottish Parliament? The correct answer is MLAs, members of the Legislative Assembly. Did you know? Members of the Legislative Assembly, MLAs, are elected to the Northern Ireland Assembly using proportional representation to represent various constituencies. Question 15. Which of the following are principles included in the European Convention on Human Rights? Freedom of expression, prohibition of torture, freedom of thought, conscience and religion, right to bear arms, or right to liberty and security? The correct answers are freedom of expression, prohibition of torture, freedom of thought, conscience and religion, and right to liberty and security. Did you know? The European Convention on Human Rights is a cornerstone of human rights protection in Europe, setting out fundamental rights and freedoms that all member states must uphold. These rights are designed to ensure that individuals are treated with dignity and respect, and that their basic freedoms are protected from interference by the state. Question 16. What event triggered the outbreak of the First World War? The signing of the peace treaty. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. The invasion of Poland? Or the Russian Revolution? The correct answer is the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. Did you know? The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria on June 28, 1914, ignited a series of events that escalated into the First World War, involving numerous nations worldwide. Question 17. In Scotland, which court typically handles civil disputes such as breaches of contract and family matters? Court of Session? High Court? Justice of the Peace Court? Or Sheriff Court? The correct answer is Sheriff Court. Did you know? The Sheriff Court handles a wide range of civil disputes in Scotland, providing a local forum for resolving legal issues. More serious civil cases are dealt with in the Court of Session in Edinburgh. Question 18. The King makes all decisions on government policies. False or true? The correct answer is false. Did you know? While the King has regular meetings with the Prime Minister and can advise, warn and encourage, the decisions on government policies are made by the Prime Minister and Cabinet. Question 19. Which of the following countries is geographically located on the island of Great Britain? Isle of Man, the Republic of Ireland, Northern Ireland, or Scotland? The correct answer is Scotland. Did you know? Great Britain comprises England, Scotland, and Wales. Northern Ireland is part of the United Kingdom but not geographically on the island of Great Britain. The Republic of Ireland is an independent country. Question 20. The Labour government elected in 1945 aimed to introduce the welfare state. True or false? The correct answer is true. Did you know? The Labour government elected in 1945, led by Clement Attlee, indeed promised to introduce the welfare state outlined in the Beveridge Report, aiming to provide social security from the cradle to the grave. Question 21. Which language gradually emerged from the combination of Norman French and Anglo-Saxon? English, Gaelic, Scots, or Latin? The correct answer is English. Did you know? Following the Norman conquest, the fusion of Norman French, spoken by the nobility, and Anglo-Saxon, spoken by the peasants, led to the development of the English language, which became the language of the royal court and parliament by 1400. Question 22. Which monarch's reign is associated with the Habeas Corpus Act, a law protecting against unlawful imprisonment? Elizabeth I, William III, James I, or Charles II? The correct answer is Charles II. Did you know? The Habeas Corpus Act became law in 1679 during the reign of Charles II, guaranteeing the right to a court hearing and preventing unlawful imprisonment, a principle still relevant today. Question 23. Which of the following are true regarding the Magna Carta? It was signed in Scotland. It established the idea that even the king was subject to the law. It restricted the king's power to collect taxes. It protected the rights of the nobility. Or it gave the king unlimited power. The correct answers are: it established the idea that even the king was subject to the law. It restricted the king's power to collect taxes, and it protected the rights of the nobility. Did you know? The Magna Carta, signed in 1215, was a landmark document that limited the king's power, protected noble rights, and established the principle of the rule of law, laying the foundation for constitutional governance. Question 24. Which of the following measures were introduced in Britain during the early 20th century? Support for mothers after divorce, Increased military spending? Free school meals? Financial help for the unemployed? Old age pensions? Or tighter town planning rules? The correct answers are support for mothers after divorce, free school meals, financial help for the unemployed, old age pensions, and tighter town planning rules. Did you know, the early 20th century in Britain saw significant social reforms, including financial aid for the unemployed, old age pensions, free school meals, stricter town planning, and improved support for mothers and children after divorce or separation. Military spending was increased later due to the First World War. That's it for this week's mock test. If you got 18 or more out of these 24 correct, congratulations! You've passed the test. How did you do? Let us know in the comments. If you want to get fully prepared, download our app ACEIT Life in the UK Test. Just scan the QR code on the screen or tap the link in the description box. With over 4,000 questions and unlimited mock tests, it's everything you need to pass with confidence. New mock tests drop every week, so hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss one. Thanks for watching. See you next time, and happy studying.